אנחנו מאמינים בני מאמינים, אנחנו מאמינים בני מאמינים, ואין לנו עמים להישואל, ואין לנו עמים להישואל, אוי אלו אלו על אבינו, אלו אלו על אבינו, אבינו שבשמיים, אנחנו מאמינים בני מאמינים, ואין לנו עמים להישואל.
Spirit to just learn these new words today and take a look at this portion and safe travel for Rabbi as he's driving here. We ask all these things in the name of your son Yeshua HaMashiach. Okay. All right, so let's start by reciting the Hebrew consonants, 5 letters at a time with a slight pause. We'll begin on 3. 1, 2, 3. Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Vav, Zayin, Het, Tet, Yud. Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Sameh. Ayin, Hey, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Tav. And 5 vowels, we'll sound them out. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. Okay, so I handed out some new flashcards. There's 6 new ones to add to your stack. Okay, I will cover them a little bit here. I wanted to do just a quick, like a drill, okay? So I wrote up, I think all the flashcards that you've gotten so far, 2 and 3 letter words. These are taken from a list of the most common Hebrew words. I'm working down the list, trying to get all the 2 and 3 letter words first, and then I'll start throwing in some bigger words as I run out of other small words to show you guys. But this will also help with reading because they are 1 and 2 and occasionally 3 syllables. So take a look up here. I'm going to point to one. Try and say it, okay? Haya. Okay? Lo. Et. Ki. Kol. Who? L. It's a new one.
Shell.
All. It's a new one. Gum. E. You'll see it alternately like that. Without the aleph. Same with this one. Without the aleph. Who and who with the aleph. Zeh.
Okay.
Asher.
Asher. Hey David, would you take one of each for yourself and give one of these to Kevin? And make sure everybody over there has one of these. Do that for you. Wow. Okay, so everybody feel pretty comfortable with these? Let's run through them again, just kind of to drill, right? Asher.
Zeh.
Zeh.
Lo.
L.
Shell. He.
Haya.
Haya. Who.
Who?
He. Long. They. Lo. Et. El. Ken.
What's that?
Everybody?
Cole.
Cole.
All.
All right? Feeling good?
Again.
Yeah?
Again.
Okay. All right, so our Hebrew lesson, our portion is Bechalotcha. It's Becha. But put that apostrophe there, that's just to let you know there's a double ha. Bechalotcha. Okay, it's spelled like that without the vowel pointing. We can add the vowel pointing. You find it on your sheet in the second line, in the second verse. Okay, you should be able to locate it, right? So I'm going to add the vowel pointing. Okay. Everybody see it? Find it? What about here? Behalutcha. Behalutcha. Okay?
I have a question. Right
Yes.
by the, Lamed is a dot. What's that for?
Okay. This, who knows what this is? Okay. It's called a cholim. It's a cholim.
Oh, I wrote it down wrong. It's L-O.
Let's see.
Oh, I put L-E.
Yeah, it was kind of, I went over it and it looked kind of like an ugly O, so I cleaned it up when I went back through.
Okay.
But, be,
Yeah.
ha, wo,
I had E, so I
te,
can
ha.
understand why it had an O at the end.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, this is called a holum. It's a holum without the vav. So it's slightly shorter. It'd be a medium length instead of long. The holum vav we see all the time just has a vav with the dot on top. Oh, look up in the air, right? As opposed to the shuruk on the side. Okay. Is that clear? Okay, so this is verse 1, Aleph, meaning 1, okay? Beit for verse 2. If you look on your sheet, they are Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. So, this we've gone over before because it starts lots of portions. So, who knows? Deber, Adonai. This is the abbreviated way of writing Adonai, so that I write it all out and then have to erase it on a whiteboard. We'd rather not write the name, the divine name of God in a manner that we have to erase or throw it away, right? So, Deber, Adonai, El Moshe, Lemor. Vadaber Adonai, El Moshe Lemor. Okay. So
the first sentence says,
Vadaber
Adonai,
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 El Moshe Lemor.
which means,
And that's on the second sheet, okay? Because David actually asked me, because I gave him one day, I gave him kind of a printout that I had done like this. It comes from, what I've done is I took Bible Hub, I created a spreadsheet that gives the word by word breakdown. And I only did it for the first 4 verses on here. Okay, because it takes a lot of sheets. I didn't do the whole thing, but if you're doing the whole thing in the Hebrew, you're probably past this anyway. But this gives you a quick Strong's reference and a definition, whether it's a verb noun or the part of speech it is, and then the pronunciation that Strong's gives is a little troublesome, which is one of the reasons why I haven't wanted to hand it out before. And also definitions. This is really, it's kind of iffy. The definitions are more about how it's translated than it is about the true meaning of the word built up from the Hebrew root. Okay, so you can use it as a reference. You can certainly go to the Strong's and read more about the word, but it doesn't take the place of knowing how the language is constructed. Does that make sense? Okay. So it's a reference. And use it in conjunction with your Hebrew studies. So I provided it because the English translation so I got this printout from Chabad. But you can go to Chabad. You can also go to Bible Hub to get the breakdown of the word by word for Hebrew. But the English translation that you see on Chabad isn't word for word. So it's more phrase for phrase or idea for idea. It's still, it's a good translation. But for David and several others in here that are trying to get a word by word meaning, it's not as helpful. So thank you, David. And so back to your question again, okay? What does this mean, right? And so we say it means Vadaber and spoke, right? Adonai, El Moshe, El Moshe to Moses, right? Lemor saying, and then verse 2. Okay? Let's go ahead and do these, break them down by syllable here. Okay, so give me the. Very good. So it's a dalet, patah, bait. What was the name of that? Seri. And Rish. Now there. Okay? And this is Sagol. Very good. What's the correct? Yes. Aleph with a patah, right? What are we expecting based on this L here? What are we expecting? Name, right?
Name.
Okay.
Noun.
So we have What's this? What's this? Ha. Okay. It's a hey, and the vowel is a hatef vowel. It's a hatef. Okay. And what do we have here? Rish. What's the vowel on the rish? We don't see anything underneath. We look to the left. What do we see? We see the holam, haram. Okay. Final noon, right? Okay. Very good.
Is that an A after the H or O? We have Aaron's name.
What's the end? Aaron?
No. After the H. A-H-O-R?
A. Haram.
Oh, so it's an A, not
Aaron.
O.
Haram. Yes, it's an A.
Because it looks like an O, so.
Well, I'm sorry, we've discussed that quite a bit considering, but that's just make a teletype A for clarification. Okay? What do we have here? What's this?
Ben, Ben.
The. And it means.
And.
Yeah. What's this? Okay. What's this vowel? Yeah, you got the but what you call it? What do we call it? Kamatz. Okay. And then this is a. This one?
Men.
With another it's ta. Okay. And then we have the resh that somebody called out earlier. And ta. And that's another kamatz, right? Okay, so look down at 555. Okay. Ve'amata. Okay, that's this word here. Notice that the Strong says we instead of ve in the Strongs. You see that? On the second page, this page. Look. About this far down, 559, we. Okay? Understand that it's the same word and the same pronunciation, but the way that Strong's writes it is with a W. Okay? The W and the V are both used interchangeably a lot of the time in writing the Vav. It's a soft V, it's not a V, it's a V. Okay? V'amarta. Okay? You can kind of get it by being in between the V and the W, but remember also that the Gutenberg press, which was German, was the one that translated our English Bibles initially. We translated from to get to the English Bibles, and the Gutenberg uses the W for a V, like in Wagner and Wasser.
Jawol is the perfect word, because it has a both in there. Jawol.
Double.
Jawol.
Yavo. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so, and also in German, the J is a V. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right, and yeah. Okay, so does that make sense? That's what I wanted to talk about. The other thing you'll see in the Strongs is occasionally where there's a bait with a dagesh, it'll give you a V, like in Abraham. I'm sorry. Without the dagesh, it'll give you the B. So it'll spell Abraham with a B instead of a V. We spell it with a V because we understand that without the dagesh, it's a V. Right? So I don't see an example on here. Skimming through it. But you should be aware that when you're looking at a Strong's reference, it may give you a W for the Vav, and it may give you a B for a bait with a dagesh, right? Let's see what it's going to do. But anyway, so. And this is a kind of like an infinitive. It's a command and says, right? So, say to Aharon, to say, okay, and let's work this one out. What do we have? I'll give you the vowel pointing. Seret. So we have the L, A,
E.
V. Okay. This is one vowel. It's a kamatz yud, and it gives you kind of a AI sound. A. Okay. And you see that 413. Okay. Notice they give you the W again. It's Allah. Allah. I'm just going to get rid of that because that's understandable. Say it again. Allah. Allah.
I have a question. Sometimes when I see the ah next to the ah sound next to the yud, I think of it as an I. Like I.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the right. It's one of the kind of a diphthong. Did that answer your question at all, or?
No.
Okay, so well,
It's just that it's
was
just
it a
that there's
question or
lot
a
of-
statement?
No, it's just sometimes in this case, if I didn't see that it was written down differently here, I would have thought it had an I sound because of it having the vata and the yud together.
Okay.
In that order, you get the ah,
I.
I. Sounds like I.
Well,
You know?
right.
So-
The yud is a
Yeah.
yeah kind of. So I. Allah. You don't really get to the yeah when you go to the V. So it's
Yeah,
there.
it's like the yud is not there.
Triptych. It's a triptych. You have three vowels together. It's a triptych instead of
Well,
triptych.
we don't do like that in
It
Hebrew.
won't
generally,
exist in
but,
the
right?
English language. It's a different
Yeah. Or
my language.
in
That's the
Hawaiian.
reason why we cannot pronounce it the way
Okay.
it's supposed to be.
Thank you. Have a question. You know, I get confused sometimes with the vowel and the
Yeah.
O.
And the O.
I don't think they're gonna.
Vav?
Yes, because they look somewhat similar.
And the what? The O.
Yes.
What's the O? The Vav O. The Huma Vav.
Yes,
Well,
and the vowel.
okay. The Vav is in Hebrew writing. You see it written like this, and it won't have the vowel markings. It might have dageshes, and it should still have the shin dot maybe, but sometimes it won't even have those dots. Okay. This is where you would see it in signage, in newsprint, in books. When they get to a word that's not commonly used and they think people might not know how to spell it in print, they'll put the pointing so you know how to say it. But the vav is used as a vowel and as a and not a vowel, consonant, a v, right? So here it's a consonant, okay?
And the O.
Here it's a consonant. Okay? These are examples of the vowels that can be represented by the vowel. And it should look the same. When you see it without the pointing, okay, we have yeah.
And the O.
The oo.
O.
Oo.
And the vav, that's where sometimes I get confused.
Well, yeah, it can seem confusing, but there's a way to spell the word, right? So like one example in English, we say cat, and we know that's how you spell it. But somebody learning English from another language, they might ask, well, how come we don't spell it cat, right? Well, because we know that's not how you spell it, even though that letter can represent the same sound, okay? This is the way Hebrew is, right? The word has a spelling, and that spelling is the correct spelling. We aren't trying to construct the word. We're trying to take the correct spelling and break it down. How do we say it, right? So the vav it might seem confusing if you think of it as any of the or. But it's not, it's one or the other. And you have to learn it based on the spelling of the word. So we're learning the words. We're understanding the pronunciation from the markup. And then, and then we include into that the definition. It might be based on a root, like the bear. Shoresh is the dalet, the big, and the resh, which we see up here, and the vitabear, right? Okay. Does that make sense? Does that help at all? I mean, because it is confusing. If you look at, especially early on, the vav and the holam vav and the sharut vav, if you see all three of them without the vowel pointing, they all look like the vav, right? And you have to learn which is which. The oo, yeah. Up in the air. Ooh, it's the oo sound. Ooh, look at the verse beside. Okay. Yeah. And I'm not discounting that. I understand it's a confusing thing, but it's a matter of learning which is which. So when we learn the words, we learn them initially letter by letter. But what we begin to recognize is the shape of the word. We do this in English without even thinking about it because English is our native language. You see the word school, you recognize the shape of it before you break it into school, right? Syllables, right? And it's the same with most common words. We need to get to that point in Hebrew, which is one of the reasons why I started doing the flashcards with the two letters, so that you can recognize when you see the aleph in combination with another letter, what sound are you expecting? Okay, this is an audible. Well, this is actually L. This is an audible because it's low. But you learn the exceptions. Okay. This is key. This is kol. And actually, if you learn about pointing, it's a kamat, so it's an audible because you would think kol, but it's kol. Okay. Shah. Oh. Okay. So we see the ayin. We're gonna say it's probably an A or an E. We see the aleph. We're gonna think A or an E. Okay. But it's going to occasionally be an E, right? Or, an O sound, But there will be vowel pointing that will explain it. We may not see the vowel pointing all the time. We may see just the Hebrew letters. So we have to recognize them in the combination that they occur in, that this is can also be im, right? Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, it's a little confusing, but we've managed to learn English. English is a much more confusing language because it's a melting pot. It takes from many other languages. So we have little pieces of rules of some of the German, of some of the English, of some of the Spanish, and even Hebrew that it borrows from in English, and we have to learn them in the context of that particular word. And that's a much bigger undertaking than what we're trying to do here.
Well, it's interesting, like my grandmother was from England, and the way they spelled schedule,
Sure.
schedule instead of schedule, like we pronounce it. Sounds like two different words.
Yeah.
It's the same word, but they pronounce it slightly different.
Yeah, they do. And English pronunciation of the words that we say regularly is
Like they say tomato, we say tomato. And
sure. Okay, so let's get back to this. We are on the word of the portion. So what do we have? 8. And what's the vowel?
B.
Oh, what's the vowel? Who knows it? Who knows the name of it? Shvat? Is it Shvat?
Shiva, no, Shiva.
Yeah. Now is it a Shvat Na or Shvat Nach? Huh? Okay. Spoken or silent? Yeah, because it's at the beginning. Okay? So it can't be a glottal stop because you don't have anything to bring to a stop.
No.
But we'll give it an apostrophe here to just to remind ourselves that it's not a bleh, lengthen. It's buh. Okay, so what's the vowel? Vowel is but it's what? A ta. Okay. Another right? And sometimes we use an apostrophe to indicate that there's a double here because the ein doesn't have another vowel, so we go to the vowel, and this vowel, as I said before, it's a chatef, it's a half, it's a shortened patah, hatef, right? Lamed is it L, sorry, and the vowel next to it, colon, O, Tav,
Okay.
again, Shiva, right? And the final Kaf, but it's a Chaf, right? Because at the end it's softened, right? And Kamatz, which is the longer out. Becha, Alot, Cha. Okay? And this is also a Shiva Na, not a Shiva Na, Alot Techa, okay? But it's short. Okay? Well, it's the typical Ha, yeah. This, at the end of the word, it's a, it's normally, if it's a kaf with the dagesh, we give it a K. If it's a kaf without the dagesh, we give it a KH, or more commonly a CH, and it's a ch, right? Similar to the chet, right? And at the end of a word, it's almost always a final ha, okay? There's only one or two words, or maybe just a handful of words where it's hardened to a ha. And I can't think of it right now, but it came up last week. We had one word Rabbi mentioned. So let's finish this. I have just a couple of words. I'll go ahead and, okay, so everybody should know this. Say it when you know it. Yes. Okay. Anybody want to? Okay. So we have this, which is a direct object indicator, right? This is a pointer. And let's go ahead and sound this out. We have a hey with a patep. So we got ha. Sorry, not a ha, but a ha. Okay. Nun. Sarah. Okay. Resh. And bless you. L. M. And then M. Okay. So is this is a P-F, right? But it's a what? A?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's the Shiva. And then Ne with the Yud. So we, like you were saying, we give it that final Ne. Okay? Right? Makes sense? Okay. We're going to go on. We're going to hear more of this in the portion because Martin will read it from the Torah and then we'll be reading it and discussing it. But from just the standpoint of covering the Hebrew, we broke down the first 2 verses. Yeah. So you should, I would recommend as homework, you don't give homework, but take this sheet, okay? Go through and pencil underneath. Do what we were doing here and just break it down letter by letter, syllable by syllable, and then check your work on this sheet, at least for the first 4 verses, remembering that the V's and the B's and the W's and the Strongs can be transposed. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's close in a word of prayer. Abba B'Shemayim, Father in heaven, we come before you thankful for the chance to learn your word and just seek to glorify you today, Lord. Everything that we do and everything we learn, that it all be about you and your Son, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. Thank you and amen.
Keep the
Thank you.
Good job.
Good job.